Today's adventure begins here along the Little Pigeon River, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. As the recording of this is Monday, April 17th, 2023. It's not even bright, but it is early. And I will be making a 700+ mile commute from here to Orlando, Florida today. Just checking out of my hotel now, right here along the waterway, utilizing the lights off this delivery truck. You can see the accommodations I stayed at the last couple nights. I've been gone from Florida for about a week and a half. Last 2 days I've been here at the Creekstone Inn. But I'm heading out. Welcome everyone. TheDailyWoo here. It is 6 a.m. It's probably going to take me 10 hours if I were to not stop on the way down there, but knowing me, it'll probably be 12, 13. I'll be taking most of the interstates and fast roads, but I'll veer off a little bit. I'm inviting you to join me. I'm here in this parking structure here, this parking garage that's underneath the hotel. It is early, and I got a ways to go, inviting you to join me. Need coffee, shall you? Starting off on the parkway, I'm also wearing a hoodie, but once the sun comes up and the farther south I get, that will probably be shedded as the temperature gets a little warmer. I'm out of here. The building is wild. And on the way out, I'll say goodbye to Dolly Parton. Over there. Didn't get time to go to Dollywood this trip. Oh, there was a bat that just went by, or maybe, no, it was a bird. Yes, in fact I did, Dolly. I did get a piping hot caffeinated beverage on the way out. So peaceful at this hour. It's pretty obvious I'm going to spend a lot of time in the car today. A lot of time in the car. Sun is starting to rise now over Knoxville. Decided to pass by the Sun Sphere. We're talking about the sun. From the World's Fair, the Sun Sphere is still here. Still standing. I went up in that thing years ago. A little too early to go up there now, plus probably don't have the time. But quite the view from up there. Maybe they're going up there. Really quite the landmark. And at first look you would think this was like a little bridge that goes over to this hotel over here, but it's not. It's just like an awning. Maybe I'm not quite awake yet, but I thought it was a walkway, but it's not. It's just a little awning. The thing that's neat about really tall, buildings and objects like this, not only are they landmarks, very photogenic, but you can also tell where you are in town at any point. You can say, I'm just near the Sun Sphere. And there's an elevator that goes all the way up to the top. Oh, Dad, can we go up? No. That's sunrise directly behind me. Right in my side mirror. Day is happening. Time for a little pit stop here at the I-75 South rest area. McMinn County. M-C-M-I-N-N. County. I'm reading the sign up there by the door. Got a little information placard here. The road to Chattanooga. Of course, I'll be passing through Chattanooga. I always like when they have the "You Are Here" points on some of these guide maps. I'm on 75, heading southbound. We go 75 quite a bit today. Also, if you have any pets, they must be leashed. Look at that sunburst. Nice dramatic effect. Wow, should this even be an indicator? Does that even have to be stated? You're not supposed to put human waste in a trash can? I kind of feel like I should have a when in Rome moment. I mean, I had the coffee. I don't drink as much dew as I used to. But it's a Tennessee original. I'm not going to be in Tennessee long. Maybe I'll get myself a I'll double up on the caffeine today. Also, these chip machines and cola machines are not incarcerated like some places. Some rest stops have it behind bars. I remember bars being on these windows. I know. All right. It says authorizing request. Oh, try another card. Sad Trump. Okay, good to know that it was not my card. Ended up using this machine. Impulse buy. It's kind of chilly out here. I can't. Yeah, this is cold, but I'm actually seeing my breath right now. You know how when it's kind of colder outside, you grab something cold, it doesn't feel as cold as it really is. That's what. But now I can feel it in my hand. It's cold. Breath. I don't know if you can see it or not. Also, so far so good on traffic. It's been smooth sailing so far, but still a long way to go. Random unique water fountain. Another rest stop. The thing I like about these rest stops, also, you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Probably that Pantera reference didn't go as well as I thought it would be. No skateboards here either, and overnight parking is prohibited. This is interesting. They have these little blocks leading up to the front for the photo opportunity. I'm now in Georgia, and they are glad that Georgia is on my mind. So I've entered another state. It's also very interesting to me as well, with the internet and smartphones and everything. Does anyone still use these coupon books anymore? Okay, that's an unusual sign. Skate shoes prohibited in the building. Skate shoes prohibited. What are skate shoes? I mean, is that just normal tennis shoes that you skate in? Roller skating? Skate? I'm confused. Kind of interesting little gazebo style rest stop. Out of order. Out of order. This whole rest area is out of order. Out of order. All right, moving on. Well, what I was saying I like about rest stops, you got these easy on, easy off. When you're covering this many miles in a day, you don't want to veer off the interstates too long, or that'll just add hours onto your trip. All right, getting back on I-75 southbound. And since I got a lot of time in the vehicle to show what I listened to throughout the course of the trip. Well, just some stuff, not everything, but I'm cruising to Rancid. Self-pumping gas nozzle. Stopping at the Calhoun buc-ees. $3.99 a gallon. Gotta love some buc-ees. There's just an incredible amount of gas pumps here. Also, I think I said $3.99 a gallon when in fact it's $3.09 a gallon here in Calhoun, Georgia. $3.09 a gallon. I've started to lose track of how many buc-ees I've been in. It used to just be a Texas thing. Then they started branching out. One day they're gonna be like at every state. I mean, it's just out of control how many buc-ees there are. A lot of buc-ees around now. They've become very popular since back in the day when I first stepped in poo with my flip-flops. And I don't even remember what buc-ees that was now. That was a while back. Yeah, I trotted through some poo that was inside a buc-ees on the floor on my flip-flop. True story. Now when you go inside, you know, each individual buc-ees has an assortment of specific items that you can get that have the name of the area on it. So there's broad buc-ee stuff, and then there's also buc-ee stuff that is catered to the area per se. Like right now, I'm in Georgia, so there is some Georgia stuff in buc-ees. Also picked up another coffee with a medium mild roast. This entire road trip will be brought to you by caffeine. Gotta stay caffeinated, buc-ee. You want a sip? Are you a coffee drinker? There you go. Take yourself a little sip. You're gonna bring it up. Yeah, just lift up your hand there, bring it up. Bring it up in here, and then take yourself a little. It's good, right? Get your arms wide open like Creed T used to do. Ooh, I love this. The back of this car is one of those like old-timey Garfield Klingon sticky things. That's great. There's 2 complete rows of gas pumps. I also thought by now I'd have the hoodie off, but still kind of crisp and cool. I still got the hoodie on. Take a look at this. There's a I-75 sign painted on the ground right there. I was in the mood for a little dead milkman. Also, I'm under 500 miles to the airport. Got to drop my rental car off at MCO, Orlando International. You know that buc-ees is a unpublicly traded company? You cannot buy stock. I looked into it a couple years ago. And with, as expected, a little traffic through downtown Atlanta. Doesn't look too bad though, it's moving. Pretty good view of the Olympic torch right there. Nice. And off this exit is the Varsity. Kind of a go-to every time I'm at Dragon Con. I am already looking forward to Dragon Con this year. Here's one I haven't listened to in a while. Set Your Goals by Civ. Singer from Gorilla Biscuits. They played the second Warped Tour, 95 I believe, in either Melbourne or Palm Bay, Florida. They played right before Blink-182. Also, Blink-182's new album hasn't come out yet. I don't know what's going on with that. And another rest stop. The wind blowing the flags up there. This is rest stop number 22 near Macon. Stretching the legs. No solicitation here. Also, it's interesting, I was in Tennessee. You had Pepsi and Mountain Dew was created in Tennessee. But Georgia is known for their Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola machines here. Awesome. What the heck is this? Look at this. The skeleton of a payphone shell, the payphone itself, and no payphone on the end. So, safe to say that is not working. Ooh, is the phone book still in here? Ooh, look at that. Phone book's still in there. And it looks as if, well, not only the restrooms are closed over here. Rest area number 22, Monroe County near Macon. Remember I was talking about incarcerated machines? Machines can be used when gates are locked. See these, Georgia, they lock their snacks up. Tennessee did not. There's no more suggestion papers or pens. You can't leave a suggestion either. Like a beacon in the sky. That beaver. Now it's interesting, every buc-ees will not allow trucks, but they will allow buses. Good opportunity to stretch the legs. They're all well, the bigger ones. There are some like regular sized gas station buc-ees in Texas that are kind of smaller, but all the big, I call it, it's almost like the theme park version of a convenience store. The ones that are on the interstates are always, just right off the exit, so easy to kind of get off the exits. This address is 7001, and very clean bathrooms. Dare I say, the cleanest bathrooms you will ever find. In fact, they have one kind of pet peeve I have about bathrooms is you'll have 6 stalls and 2 sinks. Here they have just as many sinks as they have stalls and places to use the facilities. which is kind of nice. And not only hand washing stations, but also have hand sanitizer at every single little potty station, which I like that. I like that a lot, Bucky. And most of, not every one that I've seen, also there's a car alarm going off, has this beacon tower you can see from the freeway and the interstate. And I also believe that puts me about the halfway point, 350 or so miles to go. I listen to a lot of baseball podcasts. One of those do a lot is Locked on Rays. I want to give a shout out to these guys. This is their episode from today as the recording of this, April 17th, talking about yesterday's win against the Blue Jays. Even though the Blue Jays took the series, but I listen to these guys a lot. There's a couple different baseball podcasts I listen to. Rest stop tour continues. This is rest area number 9, Turner County. Very interesting planters here. Seats next to them. Also, same state. There's no bars covering the vending machines here. Ooh, is there a UR here? Nope. But I believe I am near Tifton. I think I'm kind of in this general area here. Well, there you go, Turner. Between Turner and Tifton. So I'm getting there, slowly but surely. And way over here on this other end, talks about Georgia pollinators. Do not pick the flowers. These flowers serve as a valuable habitat for our pollinators. Our pollinators see colors that human eyes can't see. Referring to these trees, perhaps, because talking about the pollinator's life cycle right here. Going from egg to larva to pupa up to adult and then back around. This is the eastern tiger swallowtail. Things you learn at Rest Stop Tour. Also, breaking news. Took the hoodie off. Comfortable enough to not wear the hoodie. Feeling pretty good. I'm getting pretty close to the state line. Tifton isn't too far from the state line. And I'm not really too sure. I mean, I don't know why I did this, but just to get more steps in. It's all about getting steps in. When you're in the car, you're driving for a long period of time, you want to walk. So I parked all the way over here at the additional parking. Could have parked down there, but I parked over here, just walking around. That's one thing that's good about driving versus a plane. You can pull over every hour, just walk around. Get out of the rental, stretch the legs. I was incorrect on how close I was to the state line, passing these little markers on the side of the road. I am 70 miles from the state line. They have the markers that go count down on the way there. So 70 miles from the state line, Florida state line. There's so many fuel stops and convenience stores when you're on the road being closed. It's good to see that Stuckey's is making a comeback. You know, Stuckey's for a while, a lot of them were closed down and a lot of them had caught on fire, but Stuckey's are back. Now this is not your textbook look for a Stuckey's, but definitely has like kind of that old-timey road trip vibe to it. All right, down here they do have, check it out, they have the world famous candy Stuckey's Pecan. I don't think that would fit me, but if I could find one that would fit me, I could use another. I used to have a Stuckey's shirt back in the day, but I don't know what happened to it. They did not have my size, but they do have some Stuckey's good. They're known for their original pecan log. They also got some newer items here. I don't know, I've been trying to eat a little bit better, so I don't know if a pecan log is on my agenda, but they do have the textbook Stuckey's stuff coming back in full fashion. Look at this, I don't remember it ever coming in like a box like this, as with cherry pieces. Also cinnamon pecan crumbles there. Man, these things are so dang good. Very, very tempting to get some of those, but I'm not going to. Also fudge right down here. Something called a pecan gopher. I love this old signage. Some no pets, t-shirt required, no shoes, no shirt, no shoes. Also, look at this trash can, thank you. No dice. And it's just kind of textbook for a lot of places. Restroom for customer. This road trip fueled by caffeine. Going with the Red Edition energy drink, watermelon flavored. Pretty good. Just need a little more caffeine. Keep this trek going. Yeah, as again, it doesn't have the same look as a normal Stuckey's, but I am glad Stuckey's are back, and I hope they continue to grow. Not a big energy drink guy. These are pretty good. I like the watermelon flavor of the Red Bull. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's pretty tasty. It's like about 40 miles from the state line, and I gotta save a little something in the old belly. I don't wet my whistle too much, because when you get to the state line of Florida, they give out free OJ. When you cross the state line, there is a welcome center, another rest stop, but it's more of a welcome center, and has a welcome to Florida sign when you first come in. Pretty decent sized one, which is located right over there in the corner. And since the last time I stopped here, looks like Publix, which is a Florida-based grocery store, which has taken over the southern states, that started in Florida, started in Lakeland. They have put their colors here across the front. There is a dolphin here as well. Operating hours for the Visit Florida Welcome Center are 8 to 5, so should still be open. Go inside and get some citrus beverage inside the Welcome Center. It's always good to be back in Florida. It's always good to be back. It's nice to travel. It's nice to get away. But as they say, there's no place like home. It really isn't. And you know, I love Central Florida. I still got a ways to go before I get home. I still got quite a ways. I'm still nowhere near home. Florida is a long state. It's kind of like California, very spread out. Or very lengthy from one end of the state to the other. And I'm only in the Midwest, or only in the middle of the state, and it's like 3 more hours, at least 3 more hours from here. And it just makes sense to drink my orange juice next to this orange decorated dolphin. Cheers, dolphin. Cheers. Aren't you glad I got this instead of the grapefruit juice? Aren't you glad? It's definitely warmed up quite a bit. Fresh, squeezed orange juice. I don't know if they freshly squeezed it, but it's squeezed by something. Well, I guess it would be freshly squeezed. Maybe by a machine though. Either way. Good to be back in Florida. Now like 3 more hours till I get home. Also, this is the Joseph O. Striska official Florida Welcome Center, in recognition of commitment to the Florida tourism industry. In support of welcome centers for more than 30 years, dedicated to Joseph O. Striska. Still 203 miles to the airport where my car is, where I flew out of MCO 10 or 11 days ago. Say in 2 hours and 47 minutes. It's going to turn into the turnpike, from 75 into the turnpike, and then over to the airport. Still a ways to go. Florida is long. About 125 miles from the airport where my car is parked, and I'm going to have to fill up 2 more times. Once now because I'm on E, but then again later when I fill up before I drop the rental car off. And the reason for that is because I got to fill up before I return my rental car to the airport. They got to top it off. So I went ahead and filled up. This will be the last rest stop before getting my car, turning the rental in. I am ready to be home. I have been on the road a long time today. Pretty exhausted. Sometimes just keeping your eye on the road, driving, pulling over, you know, trying to film a video. Not the most exciting thing in the world, you know, just kind of pulling over at the exits. Call it the rest stop tour. Going over 700 miles today. I only have 80 miles, 79 miles, 80 miles to the Orlando International Airport, where I parked my car, flew one way to DC, and then from DC I went to Philly, back to DC, and then went over to a bunch of other states, and then kind of drove down. And now I'm heading back down. I rented a car one way, so I have to go back to my personal vehicle and grab it. So this will be the last stop before getting gas to top it off, even though I just got gas up to weigh a bit. Get a few gallons of gas to polish off, top off the tank, and then get my own car, and then another 30, 45 minutes, depending on traffic, to get to my homestead back in Celebration, Florida. I am ready to be home. This is 700 miles in one day. It's a pretty long drive. All right, get going. Last rest stop. Take a good look. This is the last rest stop. We're getting fuel, getting my car, and heading out. These rest stops today have been good to myself and my shadow that I'm waving at here. Since I showed some of the other ones, show some of the free publications they have here at this last Florida rest stop that I'm going to be partaking of today. Look at this guide map. The free guide map there. Find the fun. There's Mickey on there wearing his dapper 50th, the 50th over. Here's some homes, but there's nothing in it. Oh yeah, there are. Look at this. There we go. Yeah, there's some magazines in there. So these are kept up. That's Camp Florida. All right. So evidently, yeah. All right, see you later, last rest stop before I head home. Back in my car, continuing south. Just a couple minutes to 7 p.m. I'm listening to the Rays and Cincinnati game now, just going into the second inning. Almost to the airport. Also, as of this moment, Rays are 14-2. Interested to see how this series in Cincinnati goes. Best record in baseball at the moment. All right, third gas pump of the day, $3.79. Just because I'm right on the outskirts of the airport on Cimarron. Also, it's funny, on this last trip, I was in Philly where Wawa started. Now there's a Wawa here. Airport's right over there. I know I never have anything to worry about, but these little spike things always freak me out. All right. Actually, the rental car was due back at 10, so I had to pay an additional $74 because I did not get here at 10 a.m. But that's fine. Just told that anything after 3 hours, this whole thing is all dried up. It's a little retention, little decorative little water area. But yeah, anything after 3 hours after your allotted prepaid time drop off, which mine was 10, is considered the next day. You always pay my rental cars in advance, so they'll just bill my card that they have on file. All right, gotta remember where I parked my car. All right, that water effect is working.
Wait.
I don't want to tell you my weight. Oh, here to greet me is this live raptor. Stand clear. I will, Raptor, I will. A week and a half ago, 10, 11, 12 days, I don't know, I lost track of time. I flew out, but I stayed up the night before. I stayed in the hotel right up there, got up really early, and then left town one way, rented the car, drove back. So I got to get to the second level, and my car should be parked somewhere up on that second level out to the parking area, I think. Here's the fountain. Man, I am glad I am not flying out. 7 p.m. right now. Yep, this looks familiar. My car's right out here. Assuming it's still there. Right outside the Hyatt Regency door. My friend Sean Clark and I stayed. The day after the opening day of Tron. He flew out elsewhere, and I flew to DC. Seems like a month ago. It was only like 10 or 11 days. Just in time for the sun to start setting, going down. It's always weird when you get back in your car after having a rental for as long as I have. It kind of feels weird. For the first few minutes, you're like, oh wow, the seat's different. The way it handles is different. Then you get used to it in about 20 seconds. All right, parking has been paid. $19 a night. And now I am heading out of the airport, heading back home. It is 8 p.m. Long day, very long day, very long day. I have successfully made it back home. It's 8:30 p.m. by my math. That's 12 and a half hours, leaving at 6 a.m. from Pigeon Forge. 12 and a half hours on the road today. But I made it. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over. That's 192 over there, and those are trees. The vlog is over.